Hello, everybody.
What's up? Welcome to Catching Up with the Contreras
Yes, sir.
Makeup Edition. I don't know why the camera looks like that. I'm sorry. Like I said, we're not professional vloggers.
We're doing our best we can, bro.
My brother bought me a tripod, so that's good.
Look at him. Brother of the year.
Honestly. But
Not really.
welcome to this Catching Up with the Contreras edition, me making Briza over.
Honestly, what?
You know how much it took me to get her to do this? Briza hates doing makeup.
It's not that I hate it. I just see it as a complete waste of my time. I'm not going to any party. I'm not supposed to look good for anything.
She believes in that your face gets ruined if you wear makeup.
I've never gotten any pimples or acne or anything, and
There was no need for you to flex on us like that.
In conclusion, she doesn't like wearing makeup. So today we're gonna do it.
Though.
What?
One of our sisters, Yaretsi to be exact, she signed up for DoorDash. Started yesterday, and so today we all agreed that we were just gonna go to from 6 to 8, just DoorDashing, whatever, driving around town. It's my turn to drive. We're on the road. We wake up at early, the butt crack of dawn. Literally, I ended up getting lost because this guy lived way far out, into the country basically. I convinced myself that I can get out of there without anybody's help. I forgot to take a left turn and I ended up in a completely different place.
Have you ever tried, I don't know, when you get lost going back to where you came from?
Look at me teaching my sister lessons.
This definitely does not match your skin color. Look at that.
No, man, she's gonna be blonde here.
Here's the thing about Briza. She has lived in this town how much time, Briza?
Me?
Yeah.
My whole life.
Her whole life. You cannot tell her a street name because she will not know what you're talking about.
I only know certain ones because of I started driving. But before that, why would I pay attention?
To not get lost? Another thing, if you guys are ordering stuff and you know that your driver is coming from 30 minutes away, please give more than a $3 tip. Thanks.
Not throwing shade at anyone or anything, but you know who you are.
At least for gas, dude. If I'm completely honest with you, I wing it every time I do my makeup. I don't ever do it the same way. I just, whatever works. On another note, would you like to tell people what we were talking about this morning? The girl on TikTok made a video about if Tay was your professor, right? Briza's bias in BTS is Tay. So I sent it to Briza and I was like, if he was your professor, you would never skip class. And she was like, I wouldn't even know what skipping class is.
Look at how happy she gets when you talk about Tay.
And then she proceeds to send what, Briza?
I said, I'll do my research, and I went to Google and I put how to be a teacher's pet. We have this sisters group chat, right? How to be a teacher's pet. Yara goes, you don't have to search it up. You already have a great source. Eileen. Because Eileen has a tendency to be a teacher's pet.
I'm not a teacher's pet.
Dude,
that's the problem.
Whatever. And I'm like, you are correct. I was like, Eileen, you have to teach me your ways. And she was like, I won't, pa que se te quite, for making fun of me all these years. And I'm like, Eileen, hermana, maestra sabia, no puedes hacerme esto. And she's like, sí puedo. Which is kind of rude in my opinion.
Okay, I just like to clarify, I was not a teacher's pet. The problem here is that I was the student that always finished all their work. So if the teacher said, today you're working on this, I would work on it, finish it, so that at the end of the class I had time to do whatever the frick I wanted. But people saw that as, teacher's pet, because I was doing whatever I wanted at the end of class. And I was like, no.
Dude, you're so boring. I stopped listening to you.
I don't think she realized that I was the one that had tweezers in my hand right by her eye.
You're gonna mess with the only good eyebrow I have.
No, I'm just taking the ones that are on the bottom. You apparently never pluck your freaking eyebrows.
I never find a reason to.
I didn't sign up for this pain and torture.
My typical makeup routine consists of putting a medium coverage foundation, some concealer, some powder just to set it, mascara.
That's it.
That's it. We're getting our ATs album soon. I'm so excited.
If you don't look this excited to get your ATs albums, you're fake.
Backstory. basically, whenever we tell my dad we're leaving somewhere, we're all like, we'll be right back. We end up going to different like places that we like end up lasting 2 to 3 hours. Yesterday, like, I needed something printed out, and Hema's the only one that has a printer. And we're like, "Bah, we need to go print out something at Hema's house." He like looks at me, he goes, "Okay, how long would that take?" And I go, "Don't time me, because you're putting a lot of pressure on me here." He goes, "Okay, where are you going?" And we're like, "Well, Hema's house, I just told you." And he's like, "Okay, well, can you stop at the store and get me some chiles?" And I'm like, "All right, I will do that." We end up like lasting a little bit more than like expected there. We left. Yare was like, "We can start door dashing right now." And I'm like, "Dude, don't accept it. Like, we have to be home quick." So she didn't accept that one. But then there was another one for Dairy Queen. Like, to pick up at Dairy Queen. And Dairy Queen wasn't that far.
Dairy Queen's actually really close to Safeway. And they were at Safeway.
Yeah, I was like, "Look, while you guys go and get the order inside of Dairy Queen, Gore and I will run to Safeway and get the chiles real quick, and like you come back in the car and just meet us at Safeway." At this point, there was a long like line for the drive-thru. It was gonna be impossible for her to get out quick, and I was like freaking out because I needed to get home soon because my dad only gave me like a little bit of time. As we were leaving the Safeway, they came out of Dairy Queen, so I just gave her the keys, and I go, we'll run to Safeway, because it's going to be impossible for you to get out right now. Like, just go and meet us over there. And they go, "No, we're delivering it first." And I go, "No, do not deliver it. We have to go with you." We end up running to Safeway. They go and deliver it. And we're waiting there like idiots because there's no chiles at Safeway.
In Yare's defense, they could have waited normally, but they chose to wait like idiots, so
I was like, "Okay, we need to go to grocery outlet quick." But these girls were nowhere to be found. And I didn't have my phone. I left it at, like, here with my little sister. We were waiting there for quite a while. It was, like, 10, 15 minutes. We called Yara and we were like, "Hey, where are you guys?" And she's like, "Oh, we're in front of the restaurant," as in Hema's restaurant. At this point, I was freaking out. Like, I needed to be home. But it was like, "Hey, it's been over an hour. Like, I need to get home." And they're like, "Yeah, we're on our way." We were like, "No, like, you need to come now." And she was like, "We barely delivered the other one." We're like, "Dude, we gotta start walking. Maybe we can meet them like halfway."
Okay, just to give you guys an idea, Hema's family owns a restaurant. So the restaurant is on one of the main places in our town. So it's the restaurant and Safeway, right? If you go towards the restaurant to Safeway, it takes you maximum 2 minutes, counting being at a red light.
So basically, you just keep going straight, and then you get to a light, and then you turn left to go to Safeway.
Yeah.
The main stoplight before the highway. And that's the one where we're like, if they were in front of the restaurant, like, we were walking for quite a bit too, and we're not fast walkers. We were like, at least they should be turning left by now.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
In the meantime, Yare calls me. So take in mind, they're not in the same place, right? Yare calls me and she goes, "Hey, Neen." And I was like, "What's going on?" She's like freaking out. I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Can you go get Briza and go at Safeway?" I was like, "For what?" And I'm very petty, so if you get me off of my bed for no reason, I'm gonna get mad. I was like, "So what's going on? Like, why?" And she was like, "It's because I'm door dashing and I left Briza and Gore at Safeway. Can you please go pick them up?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'll do it if you buy me Dutch Bros." And she was like, "Okay, sounds good." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So I got up. Now my problem is that she told me not to tell my parents that she was door dashing because my parents don't like her doing that. So I had to come up with an excuse to my parents as to why I was going to Safeway. Grab my bag. I get outside and I'm like walking out hoping my parents don't see me. My parents go, "Hey, where are you going?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Safeway." And he's like, "For what?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy turkey ham," as if I needed it. And my mom was like, "Oh, okay," because she knows I use turkey ham to make like my breakfasts. So I'm getting on the van. I'm driving to Safeway. Yada calls me. She's like, "They're not at Safeway." I was like, "What in the world?" Like, they're at grocery outlet.
By that time, we were kind of freaking out just because, like, we got to grocery outlet. There's no peppers there. At this time, like, we're like, "Dude, we're so mad at, like, Yare and Hema," because at this point we knew that they took another order. And see, in my opinion, it was like, how could you just leave us at Safeway with no car, knowing that my dad is really strict about us taking forever. He only told me, so it was gonna be on me if we took forever. On our way, like, Super One, we were walking, and Eileen pulls up.
I pull up, she gets in the car. She's pissed off. I'm like, okay. She's like, "They just left us. We walked all the way over here." In my brain, I'm like, it's 8 p.m. and these girls were walking by themselves all the way to grocery outlet. I was like, well, I still had to go to Safeway to buy stuff that I didn't need because I wasn't going to blow my cover. Because if there's something I do is that I always back them up on whatever shiz they're doing. So I went to go buy stupid turkey ham that I don't need. And the Cokes that my mom told me to get. Briza's pissed off. Goreti's pissed off too. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was just trying to hear them out and seeing what the heck had happened because I only got a call of go pick them up at Safeway because I'm door dashing. So in my brain, when I got home, I wasn't mad. I was pissed off because one, they didn't even get me the Dutch Bros. They told her they could get me. And two, I was standing there and Yara and Hema were telling me the reason because I had already heard Briza and Gore and I need to hear both sides of the story before I talk to them. So Yara and Hema were like, this is what happened. They're telling me that like, they didn't take the order before they called me. They called me before they took the order.
It's because it gives you 30 seconds to accept an order.
And their excuse was that the second order was one of our aunts. It was my aunt this who ordered it, so we went to go take it, all this stuff. But in the bright side, we got $20-something. And I was like, it's because you guys don't understand what I'm saying. Like, she went door dashing behind my parents' back, leaves them to, they walk, our neighbor sees them, and our neighbor was going to come here that same day. So, what are the odds that he wasn't going to mention, oh, I saw Briza and Gore walking? Like, the way I see it, and I told Yari, I was like, for future reference, if you're taking someone in your car to the store, you bring them back. You don't leave them, you don't call someone else to pick them up, you bring them back. Because it's your responsibility. They were in your car. What would have happened if I show up and my dad's waiting for me in front, and I show up with both Briza and Gore? They would have been like, why are they with you when you left alone?
It wasn't only a big deal for us, but, like, for Gore's parents too. Like her parents barely trust her. So imagine like again, like our neighbor comes home and her parents were here and they're like, yeah, well, I saw Gore and Briza walking. Like, think about it. Her parents are gonna be like, why were you walking with Briza at 8 p.m?
Not only that, but Hema's mom and dad did not know she was door dashing. Mm-hmm. I told them, I was like, the only thing we could do is we can go door dashing right now. And I go down there and I tell my dad, oh, we're going to go door dashing. My dad asks me the questions and I answer them.
The thing is, we have to ask for permission. We can't just be like, I'm leaving. Okay, we're 18, but like, it doesn't matter. We're still under their roof technically, so we're like,
their roof, their rules. The reason I don't ask for permission, I just say where I'm going is because I pay rent to be here.
That was basically our day yesterday.
How was your day?
Are you putting eyeliner?
Yes, I am.
Never in my life I've worn eyeliner. My mom lived in a really, or lived in like, or grew up in a really like,
it's like a small town, but not a small town. So my grandpa, who is my mom's father, whatever, owns one of the biggest houses in that town. 8 rooms and 5 bathrooms. Because we have that household, when we arrive to Mexico, the whole entire town is like notified.
According to like one of our cousins, we stand out more because like we look American.
So here we're judged because we look too Mexican,
and over there we're judged because we look too American.
We tried our best to fit in with the culture over there. We never spoke English. Never tried. If they asked like, oh, are you not from here? We'd just say another city in Mexico. Like, oh yeah, we're from Michoacan. Whatever, right?
No worries. I know I messed up, and Michoacan is not a city. It's a state. My bad.
The problem here is that our fitting in did not fit in. We are used to living the lifestyle here where, okay, wear no makeup, you're fine. Like, wear normal clothes on the daily, go out and buy groceries, it's fine. Over there, if you go out to the grocery store and you're not wearing makeup or you're not, like, completely dressed up nicely, like, people stare at you. And then they just go directly to the, oh, she's not from here.
Like, yeah, we speak Spanish, but, like, obviously we sound different. Because obviously most of the time we do not speak Spanish here.
We would not speak English if we were in public. Over there, it's very judged if you listen to K-pop. One of our cousins would be like, it is otaku, which means, like, if you're into K-pop, if you're into that type of stuff, you're called an automatic otaku, which I'm pretty sure that's Japanese. So to me, I'd always be like, hey, if you're going to make fun of me for that, at least use the correct terms for it.
Oh, let's get it. Let's go there.
Why did you do makeup?
You did a good job on that.
Thanks, I tried. Conclusion, we had fun. It's
17 hot.
Seeing, honestly, you guys should try to, like, travel to Mexico one day because you guys can see the difference between the cultures and the way we view things. Going to the store in flip-flops is looked down upon in Mexico. And it's like, bro, I'm not about to do a whole face of makeup just to go get tomatoes. I remember my aunt sent us to go get gloves, remember? If you tell me, hey, Eileen, I'm busy. Can you please go get me this? I'll do it gladly. But if you do it like, I need you to go get it now. It's like, yeah, bet. So we walked out. We walked out with one of our cousins to go get these gloves. Taking in mind, my aunt said, now. Go get them now. We took an hour to come back. When the place was like right across the street. I feel like we did it purposely. Not only that, but we came back without gloves the first time. So my aunt was pissed off because we didn't listen to her orders. I was like, oh, there isn't any at that store. So my aunt's like, you need to go to the other one, all the stuff, right? We took another hour to come back for those gloves.
Okay, here's the thing. She was using like terms like go to La Purina.
Like, we don't live there.
Go to Las Delgado. Do I look like I live there, and do I know the owners of the stores?
Like, we were GPSing this stuff and it wasn't on the GPS.
Because the stores weren't even called that. It's like me going, hey, go to Frankie Malala's place. Why don't you just say Safeway?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it helped out that we didn't know where we were going because we took more time than she wanted us to. And me and the twins we're very sarcastic. We get to the point where it's annoying sometimes to my aunts, and we use that to our advantage.
Their kids don't listen to them, so they're like, these people will. and they they try to make us do stuff, and we're like, you're not my mom, you're not my dad.
Exactly. And my dad backs us up.
Yeah. So. And it's like, unless my parents told me to do it, I will do it. Mm-hmm. Like, I respect you and everything, but you're no one to tell me what to do.
Can I take this off? It's bothering me.
Briza, you did not. You did not.
Well, you're poking my eye.
Dang, look at her. Even with makeup, she looks ugly.
Mami, venga.
She already saw my desk yesterday and she was like, por fin, nos tienes el cuarto limpio. Hasta aquí dan ganas de arranarse a ver la tele en el suelo. And I was like, she's my mom.
Mire.
Ay, qué bonita niña. Qué chula. Ay, qué bonita esa niña.
Thank you, Mommy. Thank you. You don't need no one to hype you up but your mom.
Hey, I almost didn't wake up.
Dude,
the only reason I woke up is because my dad knocked on my door and he's like, "Vas a ir?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I woke up I had an alarm at 6, right?
Yeah.
6.
Shut up.
You're alone.
So I woke up at 6.
Oh.
And then I went on TikTok. And then you called me.
See, that's how I was surprised. Like, dude,
Are
you
you
answered
up?
quick. You answered quick. You sounded really, like, your voice was so deep. I was like, she barely woke up. Surprised.
She woke up at 6. Anyway.
Where is the mango? We were hurrying up.
I'm telling you guys, I literally recorded my order and this is what I got.
Delicada. Malagradecida. She didn't even pay for it.
What? Anyways, thank you for watching this video. We said I didn't like the makeup look.
I did. She did a really good job. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked it.
We just
But
don't like makeup.
I got dreams. I asked for a mango one and I got this.
We should do this more often. It was like soothing.
And if you know where you live,
Go home.
go home.
Emma, I go see you.
Emma, if you know where you live, what?
I don't know where I live.
Oh, she
I'm
can't go.
lost. I've been lost.
I want to do Eileen's makeup one day.
I've seen Briza way too
No.
much.
Maybe-
No.
Maybe I'll do my style of makeup on you.
Mm-mm.
I'll do. It won't be bad.
And then just
Do you see how bad my face is already? I don't need you to run it.
shut up. No.